Alcohol, beer, wine, spirits, whatever, is one of those things that is 100% ingrained into our society. And with slogans like, on your marks, get set, Prosecco, or Jim, I thought you said gin, and my personal favourite, beer, helping ugly people have sex since 1862, honestly, it's no wonder. The reality is, most people go through life without ever questioning what the hell is alcohol doing for me. Well, today guys, we're going to be exploring the top 8 things that you can expect when you quit drinking. Guys, number 8 is by far the most important one, so make sure to stay tuned to the very end. Yo guys, Leon here from SoberClear.com. Now, if you're currently on your journey to stopping drinking, then make sure to click the link to access the totally free Sober Clear video course on the 5 pillars to being more successful when alcohol free. You'll receive 5 high quality videos all delivered in a daily email, and right now it won't cost you a single penny. So make sure to click the link in the description. So today guys, we're going to be looking at the top 8 things to expect when you quit drinking alcohol. Let's get into it. So first guys, we're going to touch on withdrawal. The question is when you quit drinking, are you going to withdraw? This often puts a lot of people off stopping. I've personally heard it a ton of times. Don't you need to detox when you stop drinking, or isn't it dangerous to quit drinking? Well, this is the thing guys, depending on how long you have consumed alcohol for and how much alcohol you have consumed, you may well have some withdrawal symptoms. And the truth is that if you are very physically addicted to alcohol, then you must seek medical attention. But for those of you that have decided to embrace those feelings, think of it like this. The crazy thing is that if you are feeling withdrawal symptoms, this means that you are doing something right. You are stopping drinking. Drinking more alcohol isn't going to fix your withdrawal symptoms, it's just going to prolong them. The reality is that most people can fight through that first bit of withdrawal and discomfort, and they'll have no problems whatsoever. If you drink alcohol, you deal with withdrawal every single day. What do you think is happening in between the gaps when you are not drinking? You're withdrawing. However, when you stop, you can welcome those feelings of discomfort and think to yourself, I know exactly what you're doing here, buddy, and I am not going to listen to you, dumbass. Anyway, if you're worried about withdrawal, then seriously guys, go to your doctor. But if you're ready for it, more power to you, my friend. Number 2 is that you will get way better skin. So when you quit alcohol, you can expect that your skin is going to get a ton better. Firstly, any redness in your skin will start to clear up. Now, interestingly, when we drink alcohol, there is a chemical reaction that causes our peripheral blood vessels to expand and widen. This can often cause that typical red, flush skin, and it can usually take a few weeks, but eventually the blood vessels will constrict and the redness within the skin will soon disappear. And the great news is that if you surpass marks like 30 days, it only gets better. Alcohol is a diuretic and it causes huge amounts of dehydration. When you drink, your wrinkles and pores become much more visible. So by drinking plenty of water and stopping drinking alcohol, your skin will restore itself to its natural plumpness and healthy glow, and wrinkles and bad skin will start to diminish. Guys, I'll just let you in on something. Do not be surprised if your friends and colleagues start complimenting you on how much better you are looking. Now, number 3 is we're going to talk about cravings. What about cravings? Are you going to experience any cravings when you give up drinking? Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be entirely honest, because it's entirely possible. Alcohol is an extremely addictive drug. If you have drank alcohol for a number of years, then you're conditioned to think of alcohol in so many different situations. Weddings, dates, parties, whatever. And when you see other people drinking alcohol and having a good time, you may feel as though you're missing out on something. Wake up call. Alcohol is a drug. It's a powerful poison that can take control of your thoughts if you let it. I just want to let you know that you are definitely not missing out. You can deal with the cravings and you'll be okay. It may take some time for the cravings to go away, but remember that cravings are entirely normal. Almost every single person that has had lasting sobriety will have had to deal with cravings at some point or another, but they will get easier and easier as time goes on. What I say is to embrace those cravings, and when you think of alcohol, just remember that this time you are not going to fall for the tricks. You are going to stay sober. Number 4 is resistance from friends. Now, it is 100% possible that when you stop drinking and hang out with your friends, that they will give you some resistance. You might head down to your local or head to see some of your old drinking buddies at a football game, and they offer you a drink. And you say, Hey, John, thanks a lot for the offer, but to be honest with you, I'm stopping drinking for 30 days. Oh, go on, Leon, just have one. Oi, oi. You know, I'm sure you've heard it all before. So what should you do in these situations? Because it's very likely that you may face one. Now, you have to be very firm with these people and tell them what you're doing. For example, John, I'm giving up drinking for 30 days. Do not offer me alcohol again. I personally would be very stern with that person and make sure that they know that what they just did was 100% not cool and unacceptable. And I'd also try to make a point to do this in front of all my other friends. Most of the time, if your friends are cool, they'll get the point and they'll back off. However, what happens if that person persists and asks again and again? Well, I'm going to be honest, if it was me in that situation, I'd take stock of that person. Is that really somebody that I would want to call a friend? I'd ask myself, if they're not going to be supportive whilst I'm trying to change my life for the better, then what value are they actually bringing to a friendship? Is it going to be a crabs in the bucket scenario where I try to escape and this person desperately clings on to me and then doesn't let me leave the trap? Now, I don't want to tell you to get rid of your friends, but if it was me, I may take some time away from this person whilst I get some sobriety underneath my belt. It's also important to mention that these type of people that are still drinking are very difficult to reason with. I'm going to say, rather than trying to persuade them to let them know what you're doing and tell them that what you're doing is a good thing, or even trying to persuade them that they should join you on your quest, try to lead through your actions. Maybe you could take some time away from them, show them the great things that happen when you stop drinking alcohol, and hopefully they'll follow your lead. I personally found that after a few weeks, most of my friends just accepted that I don't drink alcohol. Every so often, friends mistakenly offer me a drink, but I just decline and make no big deal about it. However, if they persisted, I would not hesitate to tell them to stop. 5, we're going to look at sleep. Now, have you ever had a few drinks and then instantly fallen asleep at night, only to wake up feeling unrested and tired? Or maybe you think that a nightcap actually helped you to fall asleep. Now, whilst I want to keep this video motivational with tons of good tips in it for you, we are going to have to put on our lab coats on and get a little bit more scientific. A 2015 study published in Alcoholism, Clinical and Experimental Research wanted to look into what happens to our brain when we drink alcohol and fall asleep. They had 24 participants. Half of the group were given alcohol before bed, which was vodka and orange juice, and the other half were given a placebo drink, which was just the orange juice served in a vodka-dipped straw. Now, what they found is that alcohol increased slow-wave sleep-related non-rapid eye movement, or NREM, delta power. It's a mouthful, but in other words, the first bit of your sleep is actually pretty good. However, when you drink alcohol, what happens is in the second half of your sleep, your brain starts producing something called alpha waves. This then disrupts your DREM sleep, leading to sleep disruption, a greater number of awakenings, and more time spent awake. So whilst you may be falling asleep easily with alcohol, your actual sleep quality is far worse. When you stop drinking, you may find it harder to fall asleep at night, but you'll feel much more rested and energized after stopping. Now, 6, we're going to look at sugar cravings. I am actually beginning to lose count of the amount of people on Facebook that tell me that they are getting sugar cravings after stopping drinking. And it's pretty likely that this will happen, but what exactly is happening? Well, when you drink alcohol, caffeine, or eat sugar or take drugs, your body releases dopamine and serotonin, which are your feel-good neurotransmitters. When you stop drinking, your brain says, wait a minute, I need to feel good. So you see other substances like sugar, weed, nicotine, and so on as a way to get that dopamine fix. Also, when you stop drinking, you can expect your blood sugar levels to drop dramatically. So it's totally normal to feel irritable and moody, and when you actually eat that sugar, that feeling will soon go away. Now guys, when I stopped drinking alcohol, the only thing that mattered to me was to not drink. If I ate 2 big bags of Haribos but I didn't drink alcohol for the day, I had won. I'd say don't give yourself a hard time. You're currently healing yourself from alcohol, which causes complete havoc on your body and is going to take time. However, I'd still say try to eat a balanced diet and definitely don't swap sweets for regular meals. Try to eat at least 3 meals throughout the day with a good serving of protein and healthy fats. But if you're eyeing up that brownie on the dessert menu afterwards, more power to you, my friend. Get it down you, and just don't drink. Number 7 is we're going to look at how your brain will feel more clarity. And number 7, guys, we're going to look at how your brain will feel a lot clearer. Now, when stopping drinking alcohol, a lot of people describe it like a fog has been lifted. When you drink alcohol, you don't actually notice the fog, but when you stop, you have way more mental clarity. Making important decisions becomes a lot easier, and thinking through problems is also more straightforward. You're also able to deal with emotions much easier. It feels much less like you're on an emotional roller coaster, and you end up feeling quite stable. Clarity was the biggest benefit that I ever found from stopping drinking in the long term, and I actually created another video on the 5 benefits after stopping drinking for 365 days. I'll link you to that in the description so you can check it out after watching this video. And guys, at number 8, you might feel like you're missing out on something. Now you may very well feel like you're missing out on certain activities or events. You might say be sitting back watching TV, see some kind of event that involves alcohol and think, damn, they sure look like they're having a good time. Now, to be honest, this may take some time for you to get to grips with, and changing your relationship with alcohol will take some time. But I want to tell you that you're not missing out on anything. Very often, when you see people having a good time with alcohol, you are seeing that very short moment of enjoyment. You aren't seeing the hangovers, the arguments, the broken relationships. You're seeing a very minute detail. And most of the time, people who are having a good time with alcohol would be having a good time without the alcohol too. It's not the alcohol that causes the good times, it's often the company and people that you are with. And I'll say that that's why it's important to get yourself around activities and events and people that doesn't revolve around alcohol usage. I'd recommend checking out some local Facebook events or meetup.com and just try to start living your life as soon as possible. Guys, click the videos on the screen right now for more inspiration about alcohol. And don't forget guys, you can get instant access to the 5 pillars of being more successful when alcohol free by clicking the link in the description. This was Leon, goodbye.